Huawei has launched its latest flagship smartphone in India called the P20 Pro, and if you go by DxOMark's ratings, this is currently the highest rated smartphone camera, surpassing the likes of the Google Pixel 2, the Apple iPhone X, and even the most recent Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus. It also happens to be the world's first smartphone with a triple Leica camera system in place, which makes it kinda unique. So let's see some of the highlight features of the camera of the P20 Pro. So looking at the back of the phone, you can see the triple camera setup in place. Now right on the top, we have the 8 megapixel telephoto sensor, which has an aperture of f2.4. And right below that, we have a massive 40 megapixel sensor with an aperture of f1.8. Now below the main camera cluster, we have the third camera, which is a 20 megapixel monochrome sensor with an f1.6 aperture. Now the first thing is something called Master AI, and once you enable this in the camera app, the camera will automatically detect an object or a scene and switch to the appropriate settings. According to Huawei, the P20 Pro can currently recognize up to 19 objects and scenes, and this can include anything from animals like cats, dogs, to even other things like scenery, the sky, food, etc. The one really cool feature we liked about the Master AI mode is that if it does detect a person's face, it'll automatically switch the camera from auto to portrait mode so you can take portrait shots, which we think is pretty cool. The second new feature is something called 3D portrait lighting. Now, as the name sounds, it's pretty similar to what Apple does with the iPhone X and the iPhone 8 Plus, which lets you select different types of lighting for your subject. Now, this works for objects that you're shooting with the rear camera, as well as if you're taking selfies. Now, once you switch to portrait mode, there is a little 3D icon over here. So once you tap it, you can select from a range of lighting effects, such as soft lighting, butterfly lighting, split lighting, stage lighting, and classic lighting. Now, once you've captured the shot, you also have the option to go in the gallery and edit the lighting if you want to change it later on. Now, when you have such an extravagant camera setup, it's only natural to have optical zoom. However, Huawei takes it a step further with something called 5x hybrid zoom. Now, in the camera app, you have a little 1x button in the viewfinder, and pressing it once actually switches to the second telephoto sensor, thus automatically giving you a 3x optical zoom. Now, you can take this one step further and press the 3x button once again, and the camera app will zoom in even further, thus giving you a 5x zoom. Now at 5x, the camera is still doing a digital zoom from the telephoto sensor. However, Huawei calls this lossless zoom, and in the short amount of time we've spent with it, the quality of images are actually not that bad. Now you can use a second telephoto sensor to do an optical zoom even when you're shooting video. However, there's no 1x or 3x option on the screen, so you just have to do a manual pinch to zoom, and the camera app will automatically switch sensors. Now the next camera highlight of the P20 Pro is its ability to shoot 960 fps super slow motion video. Now yes, we have seen this feature before on last year's Sony Xperia XZ Premium, as well as this year on Samsung's Galaxy S9 Plus, and the feature works in a similar way on the P20 Pro as well. Now in the P20 Pro, you only have the option to shoot a single clip of 0.25 seconds of footage, which is then stretched to 8 seconds of super slow motion video. You can't really have a regular slow motion video and then insert the super slow motion effects like you can on Samsung's offerings. Also, the resolution is still limited to 720p. Quick snapshot is actually a pretty handy feature when you want to capture those spur of the moment shots, but you really don't have time to unlock your phone and open up the camera app. Now the way this works is that when your phone screen is off, you simply double tap the volume down button really quickly, and the phone will automatically fire up the camera app and take a picture in about 0.3 seconds. Now the next new feature is something called 4D predictive autofocus, and what this does is shows you which portions in your frame are in focus. Also, if another subject happens to come in your frame, the camera is also quick at shifting focus to this subject, and it follows it wherever it goes. Now the last feature is the monochrome shooting mode, which basically uses a 20 megapixel monochrome sensor. Now within this mode, you can shoot in auto, or you can even have other modes like aperture priority, you can have a monochrome portrait mode, and even a professional mode which just uses the black and white sensor. So these were just some of the highlight features that we found pretty interesting so far on the new P20 Pro. We will be taking a look at these in great detail in the full review, so stay tuned for that. And thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon so you know when we have new videos. And for all things tech, log on to gadgets360.com.